Good morning, class 11. Welcome to the revisional session of political science. We are going to discuss the chapter Constitution Why and How, and we are going to discuss that why do we need a constitution. Children, you all are well aware that India was under the rule of the British government for a very long span of time, or British East India Company. When the struggle for independence was on, the Indian leaders had already decided that they will make a constitution for independent India in such a manner that would be able to fulfill the requirements, expectations of all the citizens, whether say the citizen is a Hindu, say the citizen is a Muslim, or the citizens are having a belief system in Sikhism, Jainism, or any other religion. So, to understand what is a constitution, first we need to understand that why a constitution is needed. So, there are four basic functions of any constitution throughout the world. Now, what are these functions? Why did India decide to have a constitution? India decided to have a constitution because it was following democracy, and it is essential for a democracy to have a constitution. Constitution, which is a set of rules and regulations. So what is the first the function? It provides a set of rules that allows coordination amongst the government and citizens. That means that how the government will run, what would be the responsibility of the government towards the citizens, and how will the citizens abide by the constitution or abide and follow the rules and regulations imposed by the government. That is all decided in the constitution. So India has a written and bulky constitutions where it provides for the rules and regulations as well as the fundamental rights of the people, principles of directive policy, as well as other rules and regulations for conduction of elections, for the smooth running of the government. Then, what is the second function? To specify who has the power to make decisions in the society. You all know that India is a diverse country. It is a very big geographical area with various belief systems. Certain people are literate, certain are illiterate, certain are from the richer sections, some are from the middle classes, some belong to the poor sections of society. So, to decide that who will take decision on behalf of the people, the Indian constitution came up with a alternative of making a legislature. Now, the members of parliament, specifically the members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, they, along with the President of India, form the rules and regulations for the country, and the people of the society and the citizens, they abide by those rules and regulations made by the legislature. Now, what rules and regulations can be imposed on the citizens? This is the third function of any constitution, that it has to decide that what should be the limitation of the government or what should be the limitation of the citizens as well. So, our constitution provides for basic freedom of expression, freedom of movement, freedom of professing any profession, and like so on. So these freedoms are known as the fundamental rights of the citizens of India. Now, the government of India cannot trespass them. That means, though being or having powers, the legislature along with the president cannot trespass the fundamental rights of the people of the country. So, though they are powerful, but they cannot turn into absolutists, whether that is the president, whether that is the legislature, whether that is the prime minister of the country. Now, the fourth function. fulfills the aspirations and expectations. Aspiration means there are certain motivations for any society or government. So aspirations and expectations of people along with creation of just society, which would provide an identity also to the citizens of the country. See children, just having a government doesn't mean that the country is democratic. Just having a government doesn't ensure that the people are enjoying their freedom. That is why it is essential to fulfill the expectations of the people, to give them their space, to fulfill their aspirations, what they ought to get from the government in return, and creation of a just society. That means the judicial system should be free and fair from any control of the government. Now, let us discuss about the authority of the constitution. So, what is the authority? Authority means what is the objective and way of working of any constitution. So, first and foremost, any constitution can be a success only and only if it is effective. How to make it effective? To ensure effectiveness, the rules and regulations, the provisions and procedures should be designed in such a manner that they are acceptable and people are willing to follow it. Then only the constitution can fulfill the criteria of effectiveness. The people should be satisfied. Then the second is the constitution just? That means if it is left on the common people, maybe the Hindu community wants something else from the constitution, maybe the expectations of the Muslim community is something else, maybe the Christians of the country they want something else from the constitution, maybe the Bohra community wants something else. So it cannot be left out to the citizens to decide. So what should be done? Certain basic norms should be drawn in such a manner, certain fair rules should be drawn in such a manner which in general are accepted by all the communities, all the belief systems, all the sections of society without creating any biasness. Now, mode of promulgation or execution. Just making laws is not everything. How to execute those laws, how to execute or implement those rules and regulation is the key of success of any constitution. If the execution is not proper, if the executives are not proper, then also the laws won't have any value. The rules and regulations would not have any value. And the people would not be able to gain out of the rules and regulations or the fundamental rights or any concept mentioned in the constitution. So execution is also very important. Now, the fourth point is the substantive provisions of a constitution. What are the essentials? Substantive means essentials. The constitution should be rigid. The constitution should be flexible. The constitution should understand the changes required with the passage of time. The people should be happy with the limitations imposed by the constitution. It should not be too much bounding. It should not be too much leniency also in the constitution. So that is why certain essentials should be there. If not, then there is example of China. In the last century, China had changed the constitution 5 times. In the same manner, amendments were made in French constitution from the very beginning. We have already read in history in class 9th and 10th. So, countries have to make alteration. Another example is of the neighbor Nepal. Nepal also had to alter its constitution because when it was drafted it was something else, but the expectations were something different from what it was providing. Now, balanced institutional design is the basic key of any constitution's success. How have we created balance in India? By having horizontal distribution of power, by having vertical distribution of power. Horizontal means like this. So, in the first part we have the legislature, in the second part we have the executive, and in the third part we have judiciary. You can check it out over here. Then the vertical distribution of power. Vertical means up, something straight from the below level, the power increases to the higher level. So here we can observe that at the topmost or apex level we have the central or union government. We come to study about the powers of the central or union government by the union or central list. Then we have after that the state government. So we have 59 subjects in the state list also. After these we have the concurrent list which is having 52 subjects. Now when we have discussed about state government, lower to that authority is the Panchayati Raj system or institution or the local governments in India. So concurrent list provides with 52 subjects where the local bodies can also make laws, while the state or central government can also make laws if required. So here we see that this vertical distribution of power creates such a system where there is minimum scope of conflict or trespassing each other's territory. The same goes for the horizontal power. Legislature cannot disturb the working of the executive, and the executive cannot disturb the working of the judiciary or the Election Commission of India, which is also an autonomous body. Please go through the pages.